Welcome to the Wickedly Smart Women podcast, featuring stellar conversations with emerging and established wickedly smart women. Thanks for joining us today as we celebrate women who are committed, care deeply, and have the courage to take action and create conscious change all around the world. Now here's your wickedly smart host, Angel B. Hartwell.
Welcome to another episode of the Wickedly Smart Women podcast, where we celebrate wickedly smart women and provide our listeners with a wealth of wisdom along with immediately actionable steps to be smarter, spunkier, and more successful in their impact and their leadership. This is your host, Angel B. Hartwell, and today we have a very special episode. This is one of 5 episodes of panels who are coming on in service to promoting and sharing and inspiring you to participate in purchasing our brand new collaborative book, Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, and Transforming Worlds, that is being published in collaboration with Action Takers Publishing and will be available for sale on January 11th, 2023. And we are here today with a beautiful panel of guests. I'm going to introduce each of them and share their chapter title, and then we're going to go round with some questions. So first we have with us Debbie Peterson, whose chapter is titled The Dirty Little Secret of San Luis Obispo County. Award-winning entrepreneur Debbie Peterson sold her company in Scotland and returned to California, realized her business experience could help her city. Rising from planning commissioner to council member to mayor, she found unthinkable corruption and together with a disparate group of citizens brought it down. She's got a couple books, The Happiest, Corruption, Sleaze, Lies, and Suicide in a California Beach Town, and City Council 101, The Insider's Guide for Newly Elected Council Members, and a podcast, Corruption Chronicles, tells the true crime story and teaches elected representatives and citizens how to ensure that their towns don't become the next happiest corruption in America. We also have with us Sharon Rose Wallen, whose chapter is Power of Growth, Aligned Growth, and Growth Mindset in Everyday Life. Sharon Rose is a national board certified teacher with 32 years career in elementary school. Oh my God, thank you for your service. Recipient of Albert Nelson Marquis Lifetime Achievement Award for Career Longevity and Unwavering Excellence in the Field of Education, Professional Integrity, Outstanding Achievement, and innumerable contributions to society as a whole are hallmarks of her work. She's among Outstanding American Teachers National Honor Roll and is honored among nation's most respected teachers. Success because of Ms. Wallen. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for lifting us up to our goals. Thank you for making us feel important. The positive attitude starts flowing when I enter this room are just a sampling of past students' reflections on their experiences as her students. She's the author of Grateful Reflections Journal, Harness the Power of Goals, Gratitude, and Affirmations to Make Your Life Better Now, and is one of our collaborative authors. I'm so excited to have you here, Sharon. Next up, we have Batul Ajluni, who is the award-winning author of Ditching Success and the author of the chapter in our book, The Choices We Make. She's an entrepreneur and a former business executive with many years of experience in 15 of the world's toughest markets. Batul co-founded her company at the age of 24 before serving as a senior business exec at a leading IT firm, helping it grow into a multinational corporation. She lived to pursue professional success. 30 years later, work burnout pushed her to make the most challenging career decision to save her life. She's now a writer and a coach, sharing her findings and transformational discoveries with audiences searching for answers. And finally, we have Jackie Ryan. Jackie Ryan wrote the chapter Relationships, Manipulations, and Questions. Jackie's probably like you. She was working and received a call. Her dad had fallen and broken his hip. After getting him home, she did what most people do because he could not do activities of daily living anymore. She enlisted a home care agency. It became a life-changing experience. She trusted the agency would properly screen caregivers. 2 years later, the caregiver caretaker disclosed to her that she'd been in jail for meth a few years earlier. How comfortable was this caregiver with Jacqueline's dad, knowing she could disclose that and not get fired? When Jacqueline asked the agency, they replied, well, we inherited her. She transferred from another agency. Then a separate experience with her mom under hospice care at home, a different agency. Their employees stole her mom's oxytocin and hydrocodone. The agency moved to her another client victim, and Jacqueline then learned of many more horrific stories from other adult children and is here to expose fraud in senior care and how to better qualify agencies and caregivers. What a powerhouse group of ladies we have on our panel today. So we're going to start with Batul. I want to ask you the question, what inspired you to say yes to being a chapter contributor in our book, Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, and Transforming Worlds?
Well, look, I am always a supporter of any project that really celebrates and empowers women. And this project in specific, I felt really does that. I mean, it really gets all these voices out there to really empower women in different topics, in different areas, in different subjects. So that's why I thought it's great to take part of it, and that's what got me into it.
Beautiful. All right, Debbie, what inspired you to participate in this book?
Well, I just love the whole concept of action takers and transformation and wickedly smart women, because those are the things that women do. When Rotary groups started allowing women in, as my brother told me, oh, it was fabulous because they do so much work, they get stuff done. And so I want to be a part of anything where women get things done.
Beautiful. Jackie, what inspired you?
Well, a woman's intuition. And if we are more keen to our intuition when we're in our teens and 20s, it makes us better responsive women later on. And I've only been more keen to my intuition in the last 5 to 10 years, when I wish somebody would have encouraged me and helped me and mentor me to be more keen to being a work transformation and to help transform what needs to be done. When you see things immediately that needs to be done, to be an action taker and to get things done.
Beautiful. Sharon, what inspired you to be part of our party here?
Angel, thank you for the opportunity. And I met you last winter this time at the National Publicity Summit. And I remember hoping for an interview or, one of those with you or on your podcast. And then I got this invitation to do this. So having been on national publicity and other talking points about my book, which was recently published, my other book that you mentioned, then to me, when I saw that, I remember when I got in touch with Linda and spoke about it, having to reflect myself on intuition. Sharon, what have you done that transformed worlds or helped others? And what action have you taken? It had me stop and introspect for myself. And then it seemed that I wanted to identify that for myself. I wanted to be able to identify those strengths or those, when did that happen? And that's what this did for me. And then with my faith, I also felt for me to get this platform of a bestseller possibility and collaboration with other women in a project, this is just expanding the work that I wanted to, that I was about. And then I felt it was an open door from the higher power, or, from God, as I would say. And then I jumped in immediately. Jumped in.
Beautiful. Well, we're so excited that you're here. Very grateful for your presence.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start with you, Jackie, on the next question. What do you hope that our readers are going to get out of your chapter, which is titled Relationships, Manipulations, and Questions? What do you hope our readers are going to get out of that?
Well, partly, Angel, is the relationships, because when we are in our teenager years, our 20s, maybe early 30s, we are trying to find the mate for our life. And reflecting now, I think I could have saved a lot of time if I would have just cut the cord sooner. But, I just want it to work. I want it to work. And I want to be with that person. I want to support that person. And, maybe he could be really a better person if I was in his life. Let's just cut to the chase and follow your intuition. And, if it's too hard to make it work, as difficult as it is, go ahead and cut the strings and close that door sooner so another door can open sooner for you.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. All right, listeners, I hope you heard that if there's doors that need closing, it's time to close them.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Debbie, what do you hope our readers get out of your chapter, The Dirty Little Secret of San Luis Obispo County?
Well, I'm hoping that they realize what I realized as I wrote it, because I talked about the corruption that I uncovered as the mayor of Grover Beach, California. And as I did that, and I started to talk about the really disparate group of people who worked together to solve the corruption, I realized that many, many times it was women, and it wasn't just women, it was business women. And so then I started thinking, well, how does that play out in terms of business women and entrepreneurs being involved in local government? And I started looking at the research and I realized, oh my goodness, it's women that do this. I talk about the corruption, how women influenced it, and then why it's so critical that we have women in office if we want to change the world. Women will change the world.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I love it. Well, what I'm hearing now, I've just heard it from Sharon and I just heard it from you, Debbie, and I want to let our listeners hear it too. And that is that the process of saying yes to yourself and the process of making the investment to be a part of this also became an introspective journey for each of you authors. And so that's the first time I've heard that in this panel, these panel interviews that I've been doing. And I just want to acknowledge that for our readers, that as you read, it's going to be a transformational journey for you, but know that our authors also took a transformational journey in the process of this writing. So we're going to take a momentary break here, but when we come back, we're going to hear from Batul and Sharon what they hope readers are going to get out of their chapters. Right now, though, Wickedly Smart Women all over the world, we could use your help. Specifically, this time I usually ask for help with the podcast, but this time specifically, I am asking for your help with this book. Please buy the book. We are going to have the link for the book in the show notes. It is our intention to make this book a #1 bestseller. We are also intending that this book is going to be an award-winning book. And more importantly, we are intending that you, as the purchaser of the book and the listener to this episode, are going to receive the wisdom, the guidance, the transmissions, the bursts of inspiration, and maybe the activations that are nestled between the book covers in the pages of this book, in the heartfelt writing of each of our collaborative authors. We're so blessed and grateful for everyone's participation in this. Again, go get the book, Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, Transforming Worlds. We will have that for you in the show notes. I want to also let you know that the purchase of this book, the way we've set up the purchase of this book, on our launch day, which is January 11th, 2023. Please go buy the book on January 11th, specifically 2023. That will be really helpful for us. All of the proceeds from this book are going to support the nonprofit Life is Good Playmakers Project, which is an organization that is part of the Life is Good company and is the social good aspect of the Life is Good company. And what they do is they train frontline child caregivers to help children who have been through trauma to learn how to play again. So we're just really excited to have this book be supporting this particular organization, which has had my heart for a number of years and is my personal philanthropic organization of choice. So we are going to be back from the break in just a moment, and we'll continue to talk to our lovely panel, and we'll be right back with the lovely ladies of this Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, Transforming Worlds book. Go buy it right now.
The Wickedly Smart Women podcast is brought to you by the Wealthy Life Mentor. Women, are you on the edge knowing that life is calling you to make a change? Are you ready to be part of the evolution of what it means to be a wickedly smart woman, creating your wealthy life by design, a life that is an extraordinary work of art? Angel B. Hartwell, the Wealthy Life Mentor, is hired by women in transition, women just like you who want to break through to their brilliance, become clear on the value of their wisdom, and embody a beauty-filled, balanced life of shameless self-expression. Discover your wealthy life readiness by taking the quiz at quiz.wealthylifementor.com.
And we are back. When we went to the break, we had just heard from Debbie and Jackie. We're going to hear from Batul now. Batul, what do you hope readers get out of your chapter?
Well, as the title of the chapter says, it's about the choices we make. What I would like people to get is that sometimes the journey of your lifetime can at times be triggered by the most difficult of choices that we have to make. Those choices that we spend days and nights and weeks and months and sometimes years struggling with, because they're so tough to make, those are the ones that will at times change your life. And this is where your trust in yourself, in your intuition, is where you have faith in yourself, is where you need to push yourself and have courage to take that leap. If you feel it, if you really feel it, you feel the need to make that decision, have courage, have faith, take that leap, and good things will happen. This is my story. This is what happened to me. And this is a story I'm sharing, hoping that others will be inspired by what happened in my life.
Beautiful. Well, I have not read all the chapters yet. I'm waiting to actually have the book in my hot little hands. I looked at all the chapter titles and I said, I'm not going to read them on the Google Drive. I want the book in my hot little hands to sit by the fire and really allow myself the opportunity to savor. Savor is my word for 2022. All right. So, Sharon, what do you hope readers are going to get out of your chapter, Power of Growth, Aligned Growth, and Growth Mindset in Everyday Life?
Angel, again, I thank you for the opportunity. And just to echo what you said before and what the ladies are saying, I do get a sense what this collaboration has done for me is enrichment. Hearing these other ladies' stories and their motivation to write that, I too cannot wait to get the book in my hands and to read each person's chapter. Mm-hmm. With my chapter, I shared, there are lots of successes, but I also shared times when I had to make a tough decision, like a time when, after being a lead teacher in grade 5 for years, and then I was being asked to either become the 4th grade teacher or move in another classroom with another teacher on grade 5. And that was a tough thing as the one who was the lead teacher of the gifted for years. But I remember I shared that and I made a decision because change is constant. And I remember when I shared that point and my reason for my decision with my principal, they felt it was such a mature decision at the time, but I'm able to look back at that and write it write about it in the chapter. And if you notice, each of the 3 points, they have to do with growth. And as we're all going through 2022 into 2023, we're coming off the global pandemic and everything like that. Growth, a growth mindset depends on how we outlook, the optimism, how we give feedback, praise and feedback. And so those are important skills that any woman, any home needs that. Any relationship needs that. And that's what I tend to focus on or encourage: growth. And that aligned growth piece just has to do with even an eagle and how that alignment and soaring. And so it is empowering. And that's what I hope comes from it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sharon. All right. What we're going to do next, the book is titled Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, and Transforming Worlds. So in this last little round of questions here, I would like to know what worlds you intend to transform, and anything else that you want to say to encourage our listeners to go buy the book. So Sharon, we'll start with you. What worlds do you intend to transform?
My work influences homes, family relationships, children, young lives. And I have just a sampling of it. There is just even this artwork, Life is Good, something simple from a child. School begins in August. My birthday is in November. And from the environment in the classroom, this is a gift that she was giving me from just whatever happened in the room. My teacher kept saying, life is good. This surprised me because it lets me know they're also listening, but there is a comfort that's creating culture and emotional intelligence and empathy. So my work is with relationships, and that's what humanity is all about. So anything about that, and I have all the samples of things that I can share, but relationships are important, just as, Jackie, the two, and Debbie, I hope I'm not saying that too wrong. But as these ladies are also saying, it's relationships and the impact we have on them. And I look forward to that Wickedly Smart Women book in my hand.
Yes, beautiful. Well, I just am kind of a little bit astonished, Sharon, that you come to the interview today with a piece of art from a student that literally says life is good. And our charity of choice, our philanthropic thing of choice is literally the Life is Good company.
And I did not even know that.
I love it. So there's some beautiful, mysterious, creative thing at play here.
Wow.
So thank you so much for bringing that.
I retired since 2019. So this is not now.
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah.
A student from the past. A student from the past is activating this in the present.
Transforming today. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, Debbie, why don't you let us know what worlds you intend to transform and what you could say to encourage people to buy the book?
Well, very specifically, I want to see more women in elected office. We're only 28% represented, and we're 51% of the population. So I will feel we've succeeded if we beat that 28% number next time we have some elections. And I realized, and the book is going to be available on Amazon, and the other book I've written, The Happiest Corruption, and also City Council 101 are available on Amazon. But I looked at the date. It's so easy to remember if you're going to go buy the book on that date. It's 1/11/23, 1/11/23. So people can remember when it's 1/11/23, then you go buy the new book, The Wickedly Smart Women, and run for office.
Definitely run for office. Yeah. What I love about you, Debbie, is that you could see how to take all of your life skill, all of your life experience, and apply it outside of where you had been working before. And you literally just lifted up all your wisdom and put it over in this other place. And so listeners, I want to encourage you to know that there are so many different environments and so many different fields where your wisdom, your intuition, your action taking can have impact. So thank you, Debbie. Batul, what would you like to say you would like to transform in the worlds, or what specific worlds you would like to transform, and what you could say to encourage people to buy the book?
Well, the surface of my story is all about work-life balance. It's about our career world. It's about making sure that we remember to live while we're busy building our careers. It is not good to forget that, because it really gets to us, and at some point it will really harm us and everyone around us. So I'm hoping that, yes, we need women to be out there, to be working, to build their careers, to hold leadership positions and all of that. But we always need to remember to live our lives, and hopefully my story will inspire them to do that. And I would love people to get the book and read all these inspiring stories by all these inspiring women. I'm sure they will relate to one or many of the stories.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, Batul. Well, thank you so much. I actually want to underscore what you said there, that we not only do we need to live our life, not only do we need to take our roles as leaders, as Debbie wants to encourage us to do, not only do we need to live our life, but we also need to remember, as women, if we're going to be wickedly smart about it, we are the golden goose, right? And so we really need to focus on our well-being too, right? First, maybe.
100%.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we can't help anyone else.
Correct. Jackie, what worlds do you want to transform as a result of writing your chapter? And what do you have to say to encourage people to buy the book?
I am going to transform the world of senior advocacy, not only seniors, but also of daycare, teen facilities, the handicapped, and our seniors, all the vulnerable loved ones. Because what's happening is that nobody wants to go to a facility or home anymore. So we're going to have more. We have over 450,000 home care agencies right now. So who's overlooking these agencies? And kind of a lead in from Debbie is I dabble in politics. I was going to run for House of Representatives, but then there were two other people running. But that's okay, because I can focus on my senior advocacy, promoting my book, Caregivers, Caretakers, exposing fraud in senior care. So I'm knowing all the political people to get in place to change the laws in the state of Arkansas. This is a state by state where we don't even require annual background checks of people coming into your loved one's home to take care of them, not even annual background checks. So if Missy has picked up for meth or drugs over the weekend, gets bailed out and goes back to work, whether it's at a facility or a home care agency, nobody knows any different. So that will change in my state of Arkansas for annual background checks, because I've got a lot of the House and Senate's ears in our state. 3 Ps I like to use is prayer, persistence, and patience. I've been working on this goal for about 4 years. Thank you, Debbie. And it's a lot of persistence, changing of the guard, so to speak, in our state and different governors. And so that's part of the manipulation of my chapter. And to encourage everyone to buy the book, because you can only learn from other people's stories. And I dare say, I think a lot of America is, in a way, just kind of ignorant. We just rather watch sitcoms or TV series or something silly, but we've got to learn from others. And now we've had the lives that this book can help others to advance themselves before you get to our age.
Beautiful. All right, Jackie. Well, thank you. And our prayer is that you will all go out and buy the book. Everyone who's listening in 106 countries around the world, please go buy the book. We have the link for you in the show notes. Listeners, we love feedback. Let us know what you thought of this episode by calling into our listener line. We'll have that in the show notes for you. Or send in questions or guest suggestions to listeners@wickedlysmartwomen.com. We might even give you a shout out on the show, especially if you buy the book and send us feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Keep your ears open. And remember, you and you and you and you and you are wonderful women.
Thanks for tuning in, downloading, and listening. Be sure to rate and review Wickedly Smart Women on Apple Podcasts and share with other women who can benefit from today's episode. Wickedly Smart Women is the premier podcast series for informing, activating, and inspiring the leader who carries profound wisdom and knows that now is the time to welcome wealth. We welcome your feedback and guest suggestions and invite you to subscribe to our mailing list to be notified of each new episode at wickedlysmartwomen.com.